When I said I wanted to start a YouTube channel, they laughed at me. When I said I wanted to build my dream house, they said, it doesn't fit the neighborhood. When I said I wanted to start a hair salon, they said, you don't know anything about hair salons. And when I said that I wanted to start a hair product business, they told me that I would fail. Today's video is all about human nature. You need to know what to expect if you ever dare step outside of the comfort zone of other weak-minded small people that will never ever do anything incredible or take a risk. Because the truth is that if you do, if you take your shot, if you try something that is counter to what they think you should or counter to what they've ever dreamed possible, they are going to try and attempt to attack you and tear you down and tell you why you shouldn't do something, why you're stupid, why your idea is bad, why you're wrong, as opposed to actually trying and doing something great themselves. It is much easier for other people to basically point fingers and to laugh and to tell you why you're wrong or why your business is bad or why you're stupid or why you should just do this, because it makes them feel better about their small insignificant life. It also makes them feel better that they were never brave enough to take chances or risks. It's easier for them to pick you apart. It's easier for them to find your faults as opposed to looking themselves in the mirror and finding their own. And this has been made very, very evident and clear in the last video that I posted talking about the watch brand that we at the White Label Empire have officially launched. It's from our friend Matt Miller. If you missed that video, go ahead and watch it. I'm super pumped and excited that our friend and one of the people that took a chance and did something incredible by trying to start a business decided to launch. And they launched. But what I saw in the comments, there was support, but there was a lot of negativity. And it was this negativity that just made me really kind of go deep. It made me really think. Yesterday, after I posted that video, I sent a message to Matt. And I said, hey man, are you okay? Because I knew that there was some negative feedback. Now, positive, constructive criticism is good. Constructive criticism, even when it's not comfortable or easy to hear, is also great because it's going to help you be better. It's going to potentially help you do and change directions or modify your idea or your business or whatever it is to be better, right? Because honestly, that's what it's all about. Whenever you launch anything or you try to do something, the first shot is probably not going to work. Or you're going to realize that that first shot has some holes in it or some issues. Well, when I started to read some of the comments, now, the other thing you've got to understand is that, there are certain communities that are bigger bitches than others, okay? And what I mean by that is there are certain communities that are really passionate about their craft. And outsiders are not welcome. And if you're not doing what they expect or what they deem to be acceptable, then they're going to tear you down and tear you apart, right? The fragrance community is one of those communities that is very, very, very... The fragrance community, the reason why I am officially convinced that the reason why everybody in the fragrance community hates Jeremy Fragrance is because he's better than them. Period. Some people will say, oh, he talks about shitty fragrances or he doesn't know what he's talking about or whatever it is. But they're jealous, honestly, because he came in, he was a great looking guy. He got a lot of attention. He was talking about the things that people wanted to hear, which is compliments and fragrances. And he was promoting products and fragrances that weren't technically maybe the best, or some of them may be synthetic. And the fragrance community, the people that are really like deep down into that world, some of them got a little bit bothered by him. And they would say that he's bad and he's wrong. And I remember videos of people that I knew that would just basically call him out and say all these horrible things about him. When the truth is, in my opinion, they were wildly jealous of him because of his attention, his popularity, and because he had an audience and they didn't. All right? The watch community is another one of those communities. And this was made evident by my misjudgment when I did a video talking about why Movement is better than Rolex, right? That was a whole nightmare, and that taught me a very valuable lesson. But because of that, and there was a lot of context in that someday I'm going to do a deep dive video about that whole situation because it truly was eye-opening for me. And so with that being said, people in the watch world hate me. Like, I am the enemy. I am the antithesis of what is wrong with the watch world, cheap China shit and all that, whatever. Anyway, long story short, I did that video and I got absolutely ripped a new asshole. People, canceled me and all that stuff because I dared compare Movement watches, which is viewed typically as a cheap China watch or a knockoff, to a very beautiful, amazing brand, which is Rolex. And everybody knew that I wore Rolexes. And anyway, that's beside the point. I made a bad judgment call when it came to that video. And then I made some other bad judgment calls talking to people in the watch community about that situation, thinking that they were going to like understand, and they just wanted to basically tear me down and make me look really bad, which is fine. I deserved it because I'm putting myself out there, which brings me to the point. If you are going to put yourself out there in any capacity, you've got to be prepared. You need to be prepared for the feedback. Some of the feedback is going to be great and supportive, but a lot of the feedback is going to be very hurtful and designed to do nothing more than make you feel bad about your idea, yourself, or your business. And when I read some of the comments from some of these people about the watches, it made me so sad. It made me sad that these small people would try to destroy somebody's dream. And what I mean by this is, when you have a business and when you launch a business, or if you're willing to put yourself out there in a capacity like YouTube or social media or whatever, and you are truly trying to do something special that you believe in, that you want to do, the fact that there are people in there that would basically rather just say, all the negative things and really just be not bullies, but just like try to make you feel bad about something and all the reasons why it sucks, as opposed to saying anything or saying, congratulations, this is your first try, I know it's going to get better and whatever. And so it scares me, honestly. It scares me that there are people out there that are thinking about starting businesses or thinking about trying something different or doing something amazing. But instead, they read some comments that might not be necessarily positive, and it scared them. Because honestly, that is the biggest reason why so many people never try. They never step outside of that box. And instead, they allow these small, insignificant people that would never, ever in a million years take the risk because they're too big of pussies. They would rather sit there behind their keyboards. They would rather point fingers and pick you apart, as opposed to being constructive or positive or encouraging or even silent. They would rather point your flaws out and try to poke holes in your idea, your business, instead of them actually looking themselves in the mirror and realizing that they're living a pathetic life and they will never, ever do anything outside of the box, and they would never, ever, ever do anything special. Because the truth is, all the people that you see leaving negative comments, these aren't people you would want to go hang out with and have a beer with. These are people that will never do anything with their life. They're just critics. And they would rather criticize you as opposed to take a chance and take a risk themselves. Because trust me, it is much easier to criticize others than it is to actually push down the fear, go after your dreams, and do the work. Period. I know, because this is the story of my life. For me, if I had $1 for every person who told me I shouldn't, I wouldn't, this idea is stupid, or I'm going to fail, or it's stupid and they're laughing at me and I'm an idiot and why am I talking about that? Nobody's going to pay attention. If I had $1 for all of the time somebody tried to make me not do something that I wanted to do, or try to dissuade me or discourage me from going after my dreams, I would have a lot of dollars. Coincidentally, I do. And the reason, it's simple, because I was willing to take that chance. Even when I knew that the criticism was coming, even though I knew that people would be talking shit about me, even though I knew that people would be poking holes and making me feel bad about myself, the person that I really wanted to prove something to was myself. I'm going to try a lot. I've tried a bunch. Some of the things didn't work out, some of the things have. But the only way you're ever going to see what you're made of and what you're built from is if you're willing to try. And these people that are critics, they will never try. The only thing they're really good at is trying to affect you and make you feel bad about yourself, as opposed to offering anything productive to you or the world. And this is something that I just have been thinking about in the past day. Because when I read some of the comments, and it was one of those things where here's a guy who's willing to take a shot, right? This dude is brave. He was in the military. He loves watches and he's doing something cool, right? They're not cheap China knockoffs. They're custom watches. And he's starting. But unfortunately, he's swimming in a tank with a bunch of pretentious bitches that are not willing to support people that are wanting to do something cool in this space. The other reality is that it's me that's talking about him, right? And I am aware that because of the fact that I am polarizing specifically in this community, it is what it is. And so it just made me think, and it really kind of made me a bit reflective and introspective. And also, I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk about the fact that you got to be ready for this. It's part of the process, and it's part of human nature. Humans like comfort, right? We don't want to be uncomfortable. And when we see other people that are trying or succeeding or doing something that they were braver than us or that we were too scared to do, it makes us feel bad about ourselves. And in order to get rid of that feeling, we have to try to pick things apart and make fun of them and poke holes in their process or their business or their person. It's comfortable to be comfortable. And people that are doing something amazing, people are jealous of. Just be aware of that. There are always going to be haters. There are always going to be critics. There are always going to be people telling you that you suck and laughing at you. It's your choice. Are you going to listen to these idiots, or are you going to prove something to yourself? That's my question. Me, it's not even a question. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to endure the punches. I'm going to endure the criticism. I'm going to endure people laughing at me, because at the end, guess who's laughing? Me. Fuck them. You're the best. Don't forget it. Bye.